Sierra Leoneans. Good evening, people from all over the world, wherever you are right now. Good evening. If people on Akushe, when I do, again, this is another segment of the Victor's Business and Motivation Hour. But before I continue with this show, I need to apologize to you for what happened last week. And really, we had a show that was very emotional, and our audience were very engaged. So we decided to really just pause the business show for last week. So apologies if for any inconvenience that this would have caused, but it was the right thing to do in our view because we think our audience, you guys, are our kings and queens. So that's why we paused it. So thank you very much again, and welcome to the Victor's Business and Motivation Hour. And I'll try to make it very short today because I know today's Saturday. Some of you are going for parties. I don't want to waste much of your time. And my name is Alfred Betse. I'm always your presenter. And the show is brought to you by the Victors and is powered by Voice of SALONE television. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for coming. So I want to just appeal at this stage for you to share the video. Because tonight we're going to be sharing some very important knowledge, something that will change your life or perhaps change somebody else's life that you know. And especially when we are coming towards the end of the year. So many people then, this night you show, like your business show, this show the church on different topics then on business, on yourself, your life. And because we just believe, say, you know what, disconnect your life and that of the business. Because if you become successful, then the business will become successful. So today we will focus more on you as the individual. And of course, some of the topics that we'll be discussing would definitely go to. So it's the Victor's Business and Motivation Hour. And you can call in at any time. And please, if you want to speak Creole, call in and speak Creole or English or whatever language you feel comfortable in, as long as you can express yourself. Thank you very much again. So well, before we go forward, I just want to do a little recap. Our last topic, which is 2 weeks back, we had a topic which was very interesting. The title of that topic last 2 weeks ago was 15 things you should know when starting a business. So I know some of you want to start a business, but there is something holding you back. There is that excuse that is killing your dream. You have to remember, if you don't work on your dreams, somebody else will hire you to work on theirs. So this is the time, especially this is December month, and you have a dream, you have a talent, and this is about the time you have to sit up and make some sacrifices to work on it. So some of the things that you need to know if you want to start a business that we talked about 2 weeks ago was, number one, you do not need money to start a business. By that I mean you don't have to possess money. So I've seen a lot of people make excuses, that they don't have money and as such they don't want to start a business. Now, you don't have to necessarily possess that money because you can get money from other ways apart from even banks. So you could go back. And the other thing we discussed was that don't use a loan to start a business. Do not use a loan to start a business. Now, that's very critical, and I'm talking this out of experience. Now, your business has not even started making profit, and you're going about taking loan to expand. And what will happen at the end of the day, especially if you're in Africa, our banks are ruthless. They take collateral from you. So if your business is not profitable, then you end up losing your house or whatever collateral you've given. So many people then, I'd advise, say, when you want to start business, not go to a bank for take loan. When the business they grow, yes, you will take a loan. Of course, you need to expand because the banks that will start for chase you or other people will start for chase you. But at the beginning, try to use other means that are not too costly. So you can go back. And the other thing we talked about was you need to clearly define your mission. Your mission is your why. You need to reflect on why am I even doing this business? What is the purpose of doing this business? What is my mission? Another thing we talked about was to identify problems and provide solutions. So one thing you can do instead of chasing money is to identify problems in your communities and find solutions to it. So I'll skip through fast because we need to discuss more details today. And number 5 was to develop a clear vision statement. Your vision is what you want to become in the long run. Number 6 was to be ready to make sacrifices. Business is not an easy journey. I know the road to success involves some sacrifices to be made. So be very ready mentally, physically, emotionally, ready to make sacrifices. Focus on creating value, quality. Don't get distracted by your competition. Focus on just becoming the best version of your product, of you as a person and as a business. Also remember that ideas are worthless without action. So no matter how beautiful your idea is, if you don't take a step, it will never be fruitful. Also, nobody cares about your business more than you. We talked about that. Make sure you remember that. Cut down on overheads, expenses. Prepare to fail big and adapt quickly. You will fail at some point. Focus on your strengths, what you're good at, because you cannot be good at everything. Find a mentor, somebody who is really, really good at what you're doing. So if you want to go into TV business, find somebody who has already done it successfully. Learn from the person. Success leave tracks. Then there are no shortcuts to anything worth doing. Remember this. This is really for our young audience out there. There's no shortcut. Yes, you might skip some steps, but the truth of the matter is it's a long road. And you need to make sure that you take every step that takes you there. The other one was start small and grow big. Every big business you see today started small. And the last one was don't expect profit in the first 2 years. So if you're expecting to make money, huge money in the first 1 or 2 years, sometimes you'll be surprised. So those are the 15 things we talked about as a recap. Please, you can go back on our page 2 weeks back. You will see the video and you will see a clear explanation of each of these steps. Thank you very much. But today we're going to look at a different topic. And that topic is the 7 key habits of highly effective people. The 7 key habits of highly effective people. Now, there are other habits, but just pick 7 of them. And this is grounded in a book that I will show you later. Now, success, the difference between people who are successful and those who are not is the habit. Now, your habit is the foundation of who you will become. Your habits differentiate you from those who are rich and those who are poor. Now, if you observe closely those who are rich and those who are poor, you clearly see some set of habits that emerges. I'll give an example, a clear example, and this is from a quote from Warren Buffett. He said, when the poor man, what the poor man does, somebody who is poor, I mean somebody who is unable to take care of his bills or is struggling financially in other aspects of his life or our life, is that what they do with the money when you're paid, you first spend the money and you invest what is left. That is, if anything is left at all. So the poor mentality or the habit of the poor or people who are struggling is that they actually spend before they invest. Whereas the habit of the rich is that they invest before they spend. So you can see the 2 different change of mindset of mentality. And it's very important that we adhere to some of these habits. So your habits are things you've learned. I always say this, that the day you were born empty. Nobody was born with a bad habit or a good habit. If any, you were born with a good habit. So you were a slate. Now, the person you are right now, the habits you've developed, be it good or bad, are things you've learned over time. And you've learned them from your environment, from your friends, and from everything that you do. Now, so if you want to change, if you don't like your life right now, if you don't like your situation right now, you need to change your habits. And if you don't change your habits, nothing will change for you. So what makes a successful person from an unsuccessful person? The difference is in the habits. So today I'll be sharing some few habits that will make the difference. And this is the perfect time because this is December, and we are making a transition between now and 2019. My wish for you is to be successful, and that's the wish of your maker too. So we have to dive through all of them. Now, there is a quote here that says, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So excellence is a product of habits. Now, what is your habit? The habit is the things you do. Your habit is a combination of your attitude and your behavior. And your habit is normally both internal and it can be expressed through your behavior. Now, that internal attitude that you develop over time, you would have picked it up either from your parents, from the environment you grew up in, or from the peer groups that you actually hang around with. But the good thing about habits is that you can actually unlearn your habits. The same way you develop a good habit or bad habit, you can actually unlearn it. You can actually develop another habit to replace that old habit. Another quote here is, a habit is at the intersection of knowledge, skill, and desire. That's by Steve Covey. So it's very important that we understand that if we are really serious about our lives and we want to change, we need to check ourselves. We need to re-examine our habits. What do you do every blessed day? So I always say, and I'm sure you've heard this, me saying this, other people saying it, if you keep doing the same things every day, you get the same result. And the things you do every day emanates or it comes from your habits. So the only way to actually experience a new life is to break away from your bad habits. Now, let's remember this. It's easy to develop bad habits, but difficult to break it. However, it's difficult to develop what? A good habit, but easy to get rid of it. So people tend to really kind of learn bad habits quickly. Things like corruption, things like stealing, things like laziness, things like, spending. You get your salary, you go on a spending spree instead of investing. Things like you're doing a business, instead of reinvesting your profit, you're eating, you're buying luxurious items that only takes money from your pocket. Those are bad habits. We're not saying those habits actually, when you do them and you put them at the center of what you do, they become bad habits. So it's very important that we really break away from them. But the thing that most people do, because at the end of every year, we do what's called New Year resolution. The mistakes some of us do, including me, that is really talking to you, is that instead of, we have a bad habit, instead of replacing that bad habit with a good habit, we want to get rid of the bad habit and live in a vacuum. So my advice would be, yes, examine yourself, get those bad habits that you've developed, but make sure you replace them with the good ones. And that in that way, you've not created a vacuum. So the 7 habits that we'll be talking about today is taken from a book, and I would recommend that you buy this book from Amazon. This book was written in 1989 by Stephen Covey, one of the leadership gurus. Now, Covey actually did a study on several years of study on what makes people successful. And he realized that the difference between, like I've said earlier, the difference between those who are really enjoying this life that we admire and those who are not, stems or comes down to their habits. He clearly studied them and he picked up 7 key habits that if you and I can develop, we'll experience the new life. So you can get this book from Amazon. It's actually there for you to pick up, and it's very cheap. It's not, I think it's not even more than £10, or in dollars, no more than $12. All right, I think we have a caller on the line. Caller, good evening. And what's your name, please? Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, caller. What's your name?
Good evening. My name is Ishmael Sankoila from London.
Yeah, Ishmael Sankoila. Yes, go ahead, sir. What's your contribution, please?
Well, actually, I have no understanding about the program. I just sent a message for us to call. So what's the topic?
All right, so the topic tonight is the 7 key habits of highly effective people. So we're looking at what differentiates between those who are successful in business, for instance, and those who are not. And I'll be sharing some 7 key habits. But if you are aware of any habits that you think people should learn, because what differentiates us, those who are successful and those who are not, are the habits that we form. So that's what we're talking about tonight. 7 key habits of highly effective people.
Okay, well, let me call back. Let me call back.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Right. So thank you very much. Again, feel free to call at any time, and that's what we need so we can keep the conversation going. So habit number one, like I said, I'm going to give you 7 key habits. Habit number one is to be proactive. So one of the first habits that you need to develop if you really want to change your life, experience the good things in life, is to start by being proactive. Now, being proactive is much more than taking initiative. Now, people say, okay, it's good to take initiatives. It's good to act before things happen and respond to it. But it's much more than that. Being proactive is about taking responsibility for your life. Remember, you are in charge. You'll be given this life to run it, and you'll be given the talent to execute. You are in charge of what happens to you. Proactive people do not blame what happens to them. They rather tend to focus on their responses, what they can do to change the situation. Now, being proactive is a behavioral functions of our decisions, not our surroundings. So what happens around us really happens to everyone else. It's not about the problems that we face in our society. It is really about your responses. How do you respond to it? That's what proactive people do. Instead of focusing on the problem, they tend to focus on their response to that problem. So we have to remember that we are in control, and we should not be controlled by our environment or people around us. Whereas reactive people take passive stance. So people who are reactive, especially on social people, believe that things are happening to them. They say things like, there is nothing I can do about it. So if you find yourself that when things are happening and you're saying, there is nothing you can do about it, that's just the way it is, we cannot change it, that's being reactive. So a proactive person is someone who takes charge of his life, his or her life, and take responsibility for what happens. Whether that thing was done externally or internally, that's the response he gets. So be proactive is number one habits that we need to develop. And if you really want to be successful. Now, proactive people, however, recognize that they have responsibility or they have a responsibility. Remember that. So in other words, they believe that things that are happening in the environment can actually be adapted to their circumstances. Now, which Covey defines as ability to choose how we respond in a given situation or situation. Now, so you wake up one morning and somebody send you a text message abusing you or saying something that is not pleasing. Now, being a proactive person will look at it and smile, or perhaps not even respond to it in a negative way. So it is not the problem. The problem is not the problem. The problem is our reaction to the problem. So remember, when you're faced with difficult circumstances, when you're faced with a problem, always remember that you have a response towards it. So that's habit number one. Habit number two is begin with the end in mind. So habit number one is to be proactive. Habit number two is to begin with the end in mind. So it's like before you start any journey or any project, you have to always make sure you write what you really want to achieve. What's your destination? For example, if you want to drive from one state to the other, you need to know exactly, even before you sit into your car, the direction that you're going. So before you actually engage on any job, any project, just like a house project, what we do first is to develop a plan of exactly where we want to be. So beginning with the end in mind means to clarify your destination, and you must formulate a plan that takes you there. Otherwise, you tend to shape your own agenda. Stop and think. A lot of people are too busy, going out with this life. We're so busy with activities. We haven't really stopped and think about where exactly do we want to be. It's very important to begin with the end in mind. So that's habit number two. Begin with the end in mind. For anything you want to do, make sure you write it down and clarify your destination on the paper. It will help you in the long run. Habit number three is to put first in first. This is very important. Now, there are a lot of things that catch our attention on a daily basis. Now, make sure you put first in first. In other words, focus on things that are very important to your life. You cannot do everything, absolutely not, because there are a lot of activities out there. So develop a priority system. You have to prioritize things. Make sure you focus on things that will give you a significant result. Don't attend. Now, one of the things you could do is to learn to say no. A lot of us want to please people. And as a result, we go on to say yes to every project or every request. Now, remember, you cannot really succeed if you focus on spreading yourself and doing things that are not important. So time management is very important. Prioritize, do like a to-do list. Wake up in the morning, even before you start the day, write the things down that you want to do in the business or in your workplace. It's very important. Now, COVID gave us a little grid or kind of a tool or solution that we can use to manage our time. So there are 4 key areas we are looking at here. You can see the diagram. The first area is an urgent and important issue. So we fit the first quadrant. So if you have an urgent and important issue, this best strategy is to manage that kind of issue. Something that's urgent and is important, manage it. Something that's not urgent, but is very important, you need to focus on it and give it your all. Things that are urgent but not important, avoid them by all costs. Things that are not urgent and not important, limit them. So it's very important that we manage our time around using these strategies, because we have 24 hours a day. Now, 24 hours is fixed. You cannot either increase or decrease 24 hours. However, what you can increase is the value you create in 24 hours. So it's very important that we manage our time well, make sure we prioritize. There is a guy called Brian Tracy. He used to say, eat the ugliest frog first. In other words, do the most difficult task first. Because once you do that, what happens is you kind of release yourself and you would have created more value in a day. Now, one of the things that really distract us is our phones. And this happens to us even in the workplace. Our phones are both a blessing and it can be a cause or distraction to us. Now, so what you do is in the morning, especially one of the things I do, which might help some people, if you're listening out there, or you can call in to share your strategies with us, is that I don't check my mails in the morning. I don't check my mails at all very early in the morning, because if you get one difficult email, it will actually throw you off balance the whole day. So I tend to check my email only when I have actually read my books or motivation, like on my way to work. I'm well prepared and empowered, so that by the time I get a negative news or whatever news in my email, I'll be empowered to respond to it. So it's very important. And also when you're at work, it's important to put your phones away in the locker, because the truth of the matter is one phone call will actually deviate you from your plans. It's very important that we focus. Make sure you put first in first. What is meant to be first should be always first. It's very important. Now, habit 4, before we go on a short break, is always think win-win. Now, this is very important because we always think, there are 2 different mentalities. Some people have scarcity mentalities and some people have abundance mentality. Now, we have to understand that we have a lot of resources in this world that is sufficient for every one of us. So a win-win kind of mentality is saying that I win and you also win. But a lot of us think we are in a competition. So we tend to win and let the other person lose. So there are different situations. So there's a win-lose situation where you're saying, I win and you lose. Or there's a lose-win situation. That's one person saying, for instance, I'm happy for you to take the bigger share and I will lose just because I want to please you. But the best situation to be is to win-win. Make compromise. Not readily visible. Develop a deep understanding of the situation and the individual. So it's very important that we both depart. When you treat your relationships on a day-to-day basis, we go out of it happy and smiling at the same time. So these are the 4 key habits, and we're left with 3 more habits. And but we'll take a short break, and we'll come back after this break. And please stay tuned, and also please continue to share the video, and it might help somebody there. And if you have any contributions to make towards these habits we're discussing tonight, or you have any other habits that you want to discuss, please call in at any time and we'll take a call. Thank you, and come back after the break.
Wow.
What are you looking at?
You are so gorgeous. Your skin, so lovely, clean, sunny, and natural.
Do you stress out about your skin? Do you freak out when you break out? Well, help is on the way. Try Shaw's Creations organic body products. Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? We'll try Shaw's Creations organic body products. My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
You look great.
I look healthy.
Shaw's Creations organic body products.
September we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed, couldn't leave me alone. Text me every time that you pick up the phone. And I had control on the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned, now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you acting like a fool.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars.
Welcome again to another edition. Again, we were talking about the 7 key habits of highly effective people and that makes people successful. One of them is being proactive. That's taking initiative. Taking responsibility for your life is very important that we do that. Another one we talked about was begin with the end in mind. So even before you start a project or start a business, make sure you clearly define where exactly you want to be. Where is the destination? Where do you want to go? It's like driving from one state to the other. You always have the destination even before you start your car. So it's always good to do that. Habit number 3 was to put first things first. People who are successful always ensure that the things that are meant to be done first are done first. So this is about time management, and it's also about ensuring that you do things that are vital in your life. And habit number 4 was to think win-win. You always have to ensure that in a relationship or in a negotiation, that you win and the other person win. Always develop an abundance mentality, not a scarcity mentality, because there's a lot out there for us, all of us to share. Now, habit number 5 that we'll be looking at today is seek first to understand, then to be understood. This is very important. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. So you have to ensure that in any conversation or in any communication process, you have to first listen carefully to what the person is saying to you. Most of the time, we know how to read, we know how to write, we know how to do everything. But the thing we haven't really developed is the act of listening. You have to develop when you are in a communication setting or you're communicating between you, yourself, and another person. You have to understand that you need to listen most part of the time. But the problem is most people listen with the intention to reply instead of with the intention to understand. So this is very important. You listen with the intention to understand what the person is saying. In that way, you kind of lure the person into your camp. You kind of make the person very valuable. So it's very important. So once you understand what the person is saying, let's say a problem, Then you kind of try to communicate your own understanding based on what the person has said. So in a way, you can rephrase what the person has just said, just to clarify that you understand. So listening with the intent to understand is very important. So therefore, we need to practice twice as much as speaking. So in a conversation, try to do 80% listening and 20% talking. But the problem is we do more of the talking and don't even listen to the other party. And that's why it sometimes boils down to a win-lose situation. So that's habit number 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Habit number 6 is what we call to synergize. Now, in a short form, synergy is about teamwork. You have to, there's no way you can do it alone. Now, I see a lot of people starting the business and they want to do it alone, and that's just not going to work. Now, synergy is about coming together, the coming together of different minds and to do a thing. So synergy occurs when the whole is greater than the sum of its constituent parts. So if I ask you a question, 1 plus 1, I'm sure you will say 2. But 1 plus 1 can actually equals to 3. Or 2 plus 2 can actually equals to 5. Why? Because when you work in a team, you can produce much more than when you work as an individual. Another example, those who are agriculturists will tell you this, or scientists will tell you this. If you plant 2 trees together, very close to each other, if you plant them together, now the growth of both of them will make the soil so fertile that they will mingle to produce a very good soil for both of them. So what am I saying? Teamwork is important. You cannot do it alone. A tree does not form a forest. The only way you can achieve higher heights or you can achieve success is to work in teams. It's very important. Now, the creative process unleashes the best in you. So successful people believe that they cannot do it alone. The last habit I will talk about is sharpening the saw. Now, you have done all those things. You focus on your strategies, and sharpening the saw is just looking at focusing on key areas, things like exercise. Now, you have to involve on exercise because it's good for your health and it's also good for your mental stability. You also have to focus on things like social, emotional aspects. Everyone has a friend. You have a need that needs to be filled. And that's why we have social media today. Although my advice is don't overly spend your time on social media because it's not going to really help you into your goals. But of course, there's a need to socialize. There's a need to have friends. So you have to develop your social aspect. Also, your spiritual being. We are spiritual beings. You might be a Muslim or Christian, Hindu. You need to consult your God and be very thankful for what you do. Also, you need to develop your mentality, your mindset. How do you do that? By reading, visualizing, planning, and writing. Now, the same way you feed yourself when you're hungry, it's the same way you need to feed your mind when you need to grow. Because the truth of the matter is we feed our stomachs and we feed the body, but we tend to forget about the mind. And that's why we are where we are. So sharpening the saw is really looking at ensuring that you do exercises. You know, if you are to jog or go to the gym or do some press-ups, now that actually increases, it lowers your stress level and it also increases your activeness in everything you do. Also try to socialize, and that we actually have. Now, we have to understand that all of the skills that we've talked about are surrounded around your personal mission statement. So the art of personal mission statement is, what do you want to be? So you need to ask yourself this key question. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What you want to have? Consider roles of your friends and students, people that you work with, you know, so that you can work together to ensure that you go. So my recommendation would be to put things into perspective. Think about whether it will matter from 5 years from now. I know 5 years from now is too long a time, but 5 years from now is going to come anyway. The difference will be what you do in 5 years from now. Ask for help. Now, you cannot do it alone. Like I said earlier, teamwork is very important. Asking for help is not really a weakness. Asking for help is something that is really good. So if you are confused and you're stressed or in the business, you don't know how to set it up, that's why we have programs like this. Call in and we can always help. Don't lose your sense of humor. It's always good to laugh, and if actually you want to. So those are things that you actually have to do. So those are the key habits that makes a successful person. And at this point, we'll take a short break again. And when we come back, we'll read some messages and we'll try to round up the program. Because like I said, I don't want to waste much of your time tonight. And I want to keep it very brief and so that we can enjoy the program. Thank you very much. I will take a short commercial break and we'll come back after this. Thank you.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.
So good evening again, guys. Good evening, gentlemen. We'll be talking about the 7 habits of highly effective people. Like I said, today's program is meant to be very short so that you can assimilate the information. And so the 7 habits in summary, number 1 was to be proactive. That is making sure that you take responsibility for your own life. Number 2 was to begin with the end in mind. And before you start any project or any mission, you have to always write things down, have a clear vision. Number 3 was to put first in first. That is doing with time management. Number 4 was to think win-win. Always think win-win in every situation. Number 5 was to seek first to understand and then to be understood. Number 6 was to synergize. And number 7 was to sharpen the soul. So we have 7 key habits that makes some people successful and some people unsuccessful. Like I said in the beginning, your habits, whatever habits you have now, either good or bad, are things that you formed from your childhood. So you can actually unlearn those habits. If you can't unlearn the habit, no matter how hard you try, you've always been in that same situation. That's why some people try their best and they work hard. Like I always say, it is not about how hard you work sometimes, it's about how smart you work. And that has to do with changing your habits, going back to the roots of your situation. Don't blame people around you. Blame yourself, examine yourself. This is the right moment to change yourself. Now, if you want to change your life, focus on changing your habits. It's very important. So in conclusion, the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I will encourage you to buy from Amazon. It's very good. Covey is saying that our habits should always be renewed, and this process should be a continuous process. We should not just stop because things are changing every day. You have to develop good habits and replace them with old habits. Replace old habits with good habits if you really want to be successful. So if you want more information, you can visit our website, www.devictors.com, or you can email me at real@devictors.com. You can see the email there, or just send a message on our Facebook page, VOS page. And if you're still out there, you want to start a business, you don't know where to start from, or you have a business that you really want to start, and you're struggling along the way, contact me or through that email or through our VOS station. You can call in as well during our live programs, and we can answer your question. And on this note, we want to encourage you to send in your topics. Also, if you're out there, you want to become a guest speaker in our shows, please call in, because I don't have all the answers. I'm just trying to facilitate the process. So please call in at any given point in time. We are ready to host as much people as possible, especially come 2019. We have a schedule of bringing more people so that you can learn from them as well. So send in your topics because we want to center this conversation around you. So before I say thank you, I want to say that we are on live every Saturday, 10 p.m. And so remember to share the videos, and I will make sure that I don't spend more than necessary, because I want it to be very precise and knowledgeable every given point in time. So I want to say thank you to the Victors team, my directors, Satamara, William Conte, Patrick Kai, Mr. Amadou. I want to say thank you to the viewers family. They've been wonderful. They are actually growing exponentially. And Aziza, Job, the CEO himself, Abdul Kabo, Mr. Mohamed Tarali, and all presenters out there doing a fabulous job. Thank you very much. And let's keep pushing, let's keep educating, let's keep sacrificing, because this is what we know now. You need to love, and one of the ways to show love is to share your knowledge and impact people. So thank you very much. We will definitely come again live next week, Saturday, 10 p.m. And please, if you have any comments, you can leave them down on our Facebook page or call in when the show is live. Thank you, and have a blessed night.
Wow. What are you looking at?
You are so gorgeous. Your skin, so lovely, clean, sunny, and natural.
Do you stress out about your skin? Do you freak out when you break out? Well, help is on the way. Try Shaw's Creations organic body products. Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? We'll try Shaw's Creations organic body products. My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
You look great.
I look healthy.
Shaw's Creations organic body products.
September we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed, couldn't leave me alone. Text me every time that you pick up the phone. And I had control in the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned, now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you acting like a fool.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations. give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.
Wow. What are you looking at?
You are so gorgeous. Your skin, so lovely, clean, sunny, and natural.
Do you stress out about your skin? Do you freak out when you break out? Well, help is on the way. Try Shaw's Creations organic body products. Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? We'll try Shaw's Creations organic body products. My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
You look great.
I look healthy.
Shaw's Creations organic body product.
September we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed, couldn't leave me alone. Text me every time that you pick up the phone. And I had control on the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned, now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you acting like a fool.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.